I have figured out a way to simplify the 10-minute video I did on code enforcement, trying to simplify the 51-minute video the private attorney general Jeff Ball did in a radio interview on code enforcement. So let me try to make this as quick as possible and as easy to understand as possible, because when you finally get it, it is such a red/blue pill moment from the movie The Matrix. It's not funny, and you'll probably be mad. There's nothing funny about it. You're a civil entity. The city, the county, whoever is adopting this code is a civil entity. They sick their enforcers on you, aka code enforcement. And two parties have a dispute. Now, civil parties. You haven't broken a law here, or it would be a crime, and they would send a deputy to put you in handcuffs, take you to the county jail, charge you with something, and you would be guilty of a crime. That's not the case here. Two civil entities have a dispute that has to be settled. It's no different than a car wreck or a divorce. I've been in a car wreck. I was the injured party. All kind of hospital bills, all kind of misery, yada, yada, yada. Life stunk. We went to court. You owe X amount to pay for my hospital bills, etc. In a divorce, there's no injured party. There are two people that have a dispute. In both cases, you will go to a mediator, mediation, and in 95% of the cases, I would guesstimate, people settle. Now, what does that have to do with code enforcement? Here's the deal. Code enforcement is a civil entity that posts their code. And because you don't contest it, they're assuming you have agreed to it. They're assuming that they now have a verbal contract. Now later, this guy explains that it wouldn't even be a contract at all if challenged in court, because you have to have full disclosure, number one, and two, equal consideration, which means you got to benefit as much as they got to benefit. Now, I don't know if you saw the video this last week of the people's house being torn down, but it didn't look to me like they benefited in the slightest. And from all of the trying to talk some sense into the code enforcement officers and the sheriff deputy and the guy on the excavator that smashed their house to smithereens, didn't look like a whole lot of full disclosure was there either, but that's a different topic. You've got to understand what the county, the city, whatever entity, private entity, is using is contract law. And they're stating that a verbal contract was in place because they can't show you in writing. If you go to court and challenge it, I've had a code enforcement officer pop his mouth off and go, yeah, well, when you got your mortgage, you signed something agreeing to live with these. If so, that would be between me and my mortgage company, not me and the city, and you, or the county, or whoever. But then the dispute would be between two different entities. But bottom line is, it's still civil. It's still a dispute. And then you waltz into a court where someone's wearing a robe that looks like a legal judge. And we got to get away from the word legal, because that's where they're tripping us up here. And they're wearing badges like they're somebody. You can get a badge printed for your concealed carry permit. That doesn't make you a law enforcement officer. It's because it's not a law. So understand something. If you waltz into court, put your hand in the air, and you got to sign for the ticket because it's a second-degree misdemeanor, doesn't mean you're guilty of anything. Just understand that. Put no trespassing signs all over your yard. Once you send in the letter I've done, if they come on your property, have the police take them to jail without pass and go or collecting $200 because they're guilty of trespassing. Have trespassing warrants put out. The letter I've put out is hopefully going to do that for everybody in their entire stinking office. But it's a civil entity. You're a civil entity. It's a dispute. If there's no injured party, according to this private attorney general, you can waltz into court and go, Sorry, I'm not playing ball. I never agreed to anything, and I'm not giving you jurisdiction there, Judge, to rule over me. I'm maintaining my own jurisdiction, and I'm not giving it to anybody to rule over. This is America. Remember,